Friendship, that precious bond which many seek yet few truly cultivate, is an enigma in our modern lives. As we navigate a world overflowing with connections, the question arises, what does it mean when you find yourself often alone? Does a lack of friends suggest something profound about your nature? Or is it a reflection of modern social dynamics? Through the lens of Stoicism, we can delve deeper into the meaning behind this phenomenon. The scarcity of friendships does not indicate a lack of worth or value in a person. On the contrary, it may be a sign of discernment, introspection, and depth, echoing the Stoic wisdom of figures like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. Each of the following sections explores a different aspect of why someone may have fewer friends, providing insight into the complexities of friendship and practical Stoic steps to forge authentic relationships. Stay with us through this journey, as each section uncovers a unique facet of the issue. By the end, you will have a more nuanced understanding of your social world, practical steps for self-improvement, and ways to cultivate meaningful connections that can stand the test of time. 1. Prioritizing quality over quantity. Depth, not breadth. The Stoic perspective on friendship. The Stoic philosophers often emphasized the value of deep, meaningful relationships over superficial ones. A person who has fewer friends may not be lacking, but rather prioritizing the quality of their connections. In today's society, where social media encourages broad but shallow connections, this choice stands out. Why focus on quantity when only a few true friends can bring genuine joy and companionship? In the philosophy of Stoicism, meaningful friendships are seen as essential, yet they are not easy to form. Consider this. Would you rather spend your time with many acquaintances, each interaction only scratching the surface, or cultivate a few profound relationships that nourish the soul? As Epictetus once remarked, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Similarly, it is not the number of friends you have, but the depth of those friendships that shapes your social experience. A person who favors quality over quantity in their friendships may find greater fulfillment. They are not overwhelmed by the noise of many voices, but instead cherish the few who truly understand and support them. This approach resonates with the Stoic idea of pursuing what is truly valuable, rather than being distracted by the appearance of abundance. By seeking a few genuine connections, one aligns with the principle of focusing on the essential, as advocated by Marcus Aurelius. Reflecting on your friendships. Take a moment to reflect on your social circle. Are your relationships bringing you joy, growth, and understanding? Or are they a source of stress and superficiality? Have you ever felt lonely in a crowded room, surrounded by acquaintances, but still longing for a deeper connection? These experiences are common in a world that encourages expanding one's network without necessarily deepening it. Stoicism teaches us to ask ourselves what truly matters. If you were to lose all but a few of your friends, who would you choose to keep close? Those who would stand by you in difficult times are the ones worthy of nurturing. The philosopher Seneca wrote, "One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood." This level of mutual understanding is rare, and a person who prioritizes it is not lacking in friends, but wise in their selection. Practical steps for cultivating quality. Friendships, be intentional with your time. Rather than spreading yourself thin across many social engagements, choose to spend quality time with a select few. As Stoicism advises, focus on what is within your control, namely, your time and energy. Nurture meaningful conversations. Encourage discussions that go beyond small talk. Ask questions that help you understand your friend's values, struggles, and aspirations. Depth arises from shared experiences and open, vulnerable communication. Value consistency over frequency. You do not need to meet with someone every day to form a strong bond. Instead, show up consistently when it matters, offering support during important moments in their life. By concentrating on the quality of your relationships, you allow for genuine connections to flourish. Stoicism teaches us that it is not the appearance of friendship that matters, but the substance of it. A lack of many friends may simply indicate a person who values depth over superficiality. 2. A deep sense of self-knowledge. Understanding your values and boundaries. A person with fewer friends might possess a deep sense of self-knowledge, allowing them to be discerning in their social choices. They know who they are, what they value, and what they are willing to tolerate in their relationships. This self-awareness is a key principle of Stoicism, which encourages understanding oneself before seeking to influence others. When navigating friendships, do you find yourself setting clear boundaries, or do you struggle with people-pleasing? The Stoic mindset encourages self-examination. According to Epictetus, know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. If you understand your own nature, you can better navigate social interactions, making choices that align with your true self rather than succumbing to societal pressures. Self-knowledge as a social compass. Those who know themselves well are less likely to compromise their values for the sake of fitting in. They may have fewer friends because they refuse to engage in shallow relationships that do not resonate with their principles. In Stoicism, such discernment is seen as a virtue. Rather than being swayed by every opinion or social trend, the self-aware individual remains steadfast in their beliefs, attracting friends who appreciate their authenticity. Consider this. How well do you know your own values? Do you choose friends who align with these values, or do you find yourself drifting toward those whose company is convenient but unfulfilling? The Stoic approach encourages clarity of mind. When you understand your own needs and boundaries, you naturally attract those who respect and share them. Building friendships on a foundation of self-knowledge. Reflect on your values. What is most important to you in a friendship? Is it loyalty, honesty, or shared interests? Understanding your own priorities will help you identify those who resonate with your values. Set clear boundaries. Do not be afraid to communicate your needs and limitations. If a friendship does not respect your boundaries, it may not be worth maintaining. Stoicism teaches us to let go of what we cannot control, including relationships that bring more harm than good. Seek out like-minded individuals. Engage in communities and activities where people share your values. This will increase the likelihood of forming connections that are aligned with your beliefs. The choice to limit one's friendships to a select few is not a sign of inadequacy, but of self-awareness and authenticity. As Stoicism teaches, the person who understands themselves is more likely to cultivate meaningful rather than superficial relationships. 3. Accepting and embracing one's nature. Introversion and Stoic wisdom. The traits of introversion or shyness are often viewed as barriers to social interaction, but Stoicism invites us to see them as unique vantage points. A person who embraces these traits, rather than viewing them as weaknesses, may have fewer friends, but those connections are likely to be more genuine. Introversion is not a flaw, but a different way of experiencing the world. It is about finding strength in quietness, much like a calm sea that conceals great depth. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed in social settings, or struggle to maintain numerous relationships. Consider this. Perhaps it is not your nature to spread yourself thin. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." If you embrace your nature as an introvert, you will find social interactions less burdensome and more meaningful. The power of quiet strength. Being an introvert or shy person does not mean one cannot form meaningful friendships. It means that their approach may be more selective and thoughtful. The Stoic mindset encourages turning perceived weaknesses into strengths. For an introvert, this may involve using their ability to listen and observe to form deeper, more insightful connections. How often do you feel that your quiet nature is a hindrance in social settings? What if you viewed it as a strength instead, an opportunity to bring a different perspective to your relationships? The person who listens more than they speak is often the one who understands others best, which is a valuable trait in any friendship. Practical steps for introverts in cultivating friendships. Embrace your nature. Do not force yourself to be the life of the party if it feels unnatural. Instead, focus on smaller, more intimate gatherings where meaningful conversations can flourish. Use your strengths. Introverts often excel at listening and offering thoughtful insights. Use these qualities to deepen your relationships. Focus on authenticity over appearance. Social settings can feel overwhelming, but remember that your worth is not tied to the number of people who know your name. Focus on being genuine, and you will naturally attract those who appreciate your true self. The Stoicism approach to social life encourages acceptance of one's nature. For the introvert or shy person, fewer friends do not equate to loneliness. Rather, it signifies a preference for deep, authentic connections that resonate with who they truly are. 4. Shifting priorities and life transitions. The natural flow of life and friendship. As life unfolds, our priorities shift, and with these changes, our friendships may also evolve. Stoicism teaches us to accept the dynamic nature of life, reminding us that nothing remains the same forever. A person who has fewer friends might not be lacking in social ability or value, but rather experiencing the inevitable transitions that come with changing life stages. As our focus shifts toward career, family, or personal growth, social interactions may take a back seat. Consider your own life. Have there been periods when friends seemed abundant and other times when they seemed scarce? Did this correspond with significant life changes, such as starting a new job, moving to a different city, or experiencing a major life event? The Stoics remind us to accept these shifts with grace. The flow of friendships reflects the flow of life itself, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent. Understanding the reality of changing priorities. Stoicism encourages us to recognize the nature of impermanence. Friends may come and go as circumstances change, but this does not diminish the value of those connections. Rather than clinging to the past or feeling a sense of loss, we can embrace the reality that life is ever-changing. By accepting this, we free ourselves from the anxiety of maintaining countless social ties, instead allowing ourselves to focus on the relationships that matter most at any given time. Do you feel guilty for drifting apart from old friends as your life changes? Ask yourself whether you are being too harsh on yourself. It is natural to grow in different directions, and this does not mean you lack loyalty or commitment. The Stoic philosophy advises us to focus on what is within our control, which includes nurturing the friendships that align with our current life path. Practical Stoic. Steps for navigating changing priorities. Accept change without resistance. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Embrace the natural ebb and flow of friendships as part of life's journey. Prioritize meaningful connections. When life becomes busy, focus your limited social energy on a few important relationships. These could be with people who offer mutual support, shared values, or deep understanding. Communicate openly about life changes. If you are going through a major transition, explain your situation to close friends. This not only fosters understanding but also helps maintain strong bonds during times of change. A lack of friends during certain life stages may simply indicate a person who is dedicated to living a life true to their current values and responsibilities. It is a reflection of intentional living rather than an inability to connect. As Stoicism teaches, by accepting and adapting to change, we maintain peace of mind and stay grounded in the present. 5. A thoughtful approach to trust. Trust as a precious resource. In the Stoic worldview, trust is not given freely, but earned. A person who has fewer friends may be cautious in choosing who to trust, which reflects a thoughtful approach rather than a distrustful nature. Stoicism encourages us to be realistic about human nature, acknowledging that people, like the seasons, can change. This understanding helps us navigate friendships without becoming disillusioned or cynical. Have you ever felt hesitant to open up to others due to past experiences of betrayal or disappointment? Stoicism advises that while we should not wall off our hearts, we must also not be naive. Trust should be extended gradually like a carefully tended garden. The person who has few close friends may value depth and consistency over familiarity, seeking relationships built on a foundation of mutual respect and reliability. Setting boundaries and knowing when to trust. Understanding yourself is key to knowing whom to trust. When you are clear about your own values and needs, you can better discern whether a potential friendship aligns with them. Stoicism teaches us to know our own minds and stay true to our principles. This self-knowledge acts as a guide in deciding when to open the door to new connections and when to keep it closed. Consider your relationships. Are you quick to trust, or do you prefer to observe others' actions over time? If you take a cautious approach, this does not mean you are untrusting. It simply means you value security and integrity in your connections. As Epictetus suggested, first learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. Similarly, first understand the person you wish to trust before entrusting them with your deeper self. Practical steps for cultivating trust in a Stoic way. Start with small acts of trust. Instead of diving into deep conversations or sharing personal details right away, begin with small, manageable steps. This allows you to gauge the other person's reliability. Reflect on your boundaries. Know what you are willing to share and what you prefer to keep private. This clarity will help you avoid overextending yourself or feeling vulnerable too soon. Maintain emotional balance. If trust is broken, see it as a learning experience rather than a catastrophic failure. By keeping a balanced perspective, you can maintain resilience and continue to build meaningful connections. The Stoic view of trust emphasizes realism over idealism. While we hope for the best in others, we also prepare for the possibility of disappointment. In this balanced approach, having fewer friends may signify a person who is cautious but open to meaningful, earned connections. This careful approach to trust aligns with the Stoicism principle of valuing authenticity over appearance. 6. Mindfulness and inner tranquility. The role of mental well-being in friendships. Mental well-being is often a silent factor influencing the number of friends a person has. When internal struggles, such as anxiety or depression, arise, social interactions can feel daunting. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our emotions without letting them dictate our actions. It's about finding tranquility amid life's chaos, which allows for stable and genuine relationships to form. How often have you felt overwhelmed in social situations or found it difficult to maintain friendships due to mental health challenges? Stoicism reminds us that it is not about dismissing these feelings, but about understanding and working through them. When you prioritize inner peace and mindfulness, you are better equipped to be present and supportive in your relationships, even if you have fewer of them. Stoic practices for nurturing. Inner calm. Stoicism offers practical steps for cultivating tranquility, which can, in turn, help foster deeper connections with others. Meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection are tools used to calm the mind and reduce the impact of negative emotions on social life. When we achieve inner calm, we become a stable presence for our friends, someone they can rely on even during challenging times. Consider how you approach mental well-being. Do you see it as a private struggle, or do you allow it to inform how you engage with others? The Stoic idea of finding peace within helps in maintaining balanced relationships. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This means that addressing our internal fears can help us build stronger connections. Practical Stoic steps for enhancing mental well-being in social life practice. Mindfulness. Focus on being present during social interactions. When you give your full attention, others feel valued and connections become more meaningful. Meditate regularly. A daily meditation practice can help reduce anxiety, improve mood, and create a sense of inner peace that positively affects relationships. Embrace self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your emotions and understand how they impact your behavior. This awareness allows you to approach social situations with greater resilience and composure. By focusing on mental well-being and practicing Stoicism principles, you can strengthen your existing relationships and cultivate new ones, even if the number of friends remains small. It is the quality and depth of these connections that ultimately enrich one's life. 7. Diverse interests and open-mindedness. Embracing differences as opportunities for connection. Diverse interests can sometimes lead to having fewer friends, especially if your hobbies or passions are niche or unconventional. However, Stoicism encourages us to see differences not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. The Stoics believed that every person we meet holds a unique universe of experiences, offering us a chance to expand our horizons. Do you find it difficult to connect with others because of varying interests? Instead of viewing these differences as a barrier, consider them as potential bridges. Ask yourself, what can you learn from someone who has different passions or hobbies? This mindset shift can help you form connections that are based on mutual respect and curiosity, rather than shared interests alone. The Stoic approach to appreciating diverse interests. Stoicism guides us to seek common ground not merely in hobbies, but in shared values, human experiences, and emotions. When you meet someone with a different set of interests, try to understand their passion and what it means to them. In doing so, you build connections that go beyond the surface, finding harmony in diversity. How often do you step outside your comfort zone to engage with people whose interests differ from your own? The Stoic approach encourages embracing these interactions as opportunities to learn and grow. It is not about pretending to like what others do, but about appreciating their dedication and enthusiasm, which can, in turn, foster mutual understanding. Practical steps for building friendships. Across different interests show genuine curiosity. When someone shares their passion, ask questions and show interest in their experiences. This creates an environment of mutual respect and openness. Find common values. Even if your hobbies differ, seek shared values such as perseverance, curiosity, or the pursuit of knowledge. These underlying principles can form a strong foundation for friendship. Engage in shared activities. Occasionally, while you don't need to adopt someone else's hobby, participating in an activity they enjoy once in a while can strengthen your bond. By appreciating and embracing different interests, you open yourself up to a wider range of meaningful connections. Stoicism teaches us that true friendships are built on understanding and valuing the whole person, not just the parts that align with our own preferences. 8. Intentional lifestyle choices. Crafting a life aligned with your values. The pace of modern life often leaves little time for socializing, especially for those who consciously choose to focus on personal goals or responsibilities. Stoicism encourages us to live intentionally, making decisions that align with our deeper values rather than simply reacting to external pressures. A person with fewer friends may be prioritizing what they find most fulfilling, which does not always include frequent social engagements. Do you feel pressured to fill your calendar with social events, even when you would prefer to spend your time on other pursuits? Stoicism teaches us to say no to time wasters and prioritize what truly matters. By intentionally choosing how to spend your time, you may have fewer friends, but those friendships will likely be more meaningful. The Stoic art of balance in social life. Living a balanced life is not about dividing time equally among all activities, but about aligning your actions with what brings genuine fulfillment. If you find that work, hobbies, or personal development take up more of your time, it is not necessarily a sign of social neglect. Instead, it may indicate a person who is living a life guided by purpose. Consider whether your current lifestyle choices reflect your true priorities. Are you spending time with people who support your goals and values, or are you socializing out of obligation? The Stoic approach helps you identify and pursue relationships that enhance rather than distract from your path. Practical Stoic. Steps for intentional social living schedule. Quality time for relationships. Instead of frequent but shallow social encounters, plan for deeper, more meaningful interactions with a few close friends. Align your social circle with your values. Surround yourself with people who support your aspirations and share similar principles. This ensures that your social life is a source of growth and inspiration. Practice mindful engagement. When you do spend time with others, be fully present and attentive. This reinforces the value you place on quality over quantity in your relationships. By consciously choosing how to engage in social life, you live in accordance with the principles of Stoicism, focusing on what is within your control and letting go of distractions. Fewer friends may signify a person who is selective and intentional about their relationships, seeking depth and fulfillment over social abundance. 9. Social skills as a work in progress. The continuous journey of self-improvement. The development of social skills is a lifelong process. A lack of friends may not be due to an unwillingness to connect, but rather a recognition that building meaningful relationships takes time and effort. In Stoicism, the emphasis is placed on continuous self-improvement, acknowledging that no one is perfect and growth is always possible. How do you view your social skills? Are they fixed traits, or can they be cultivated over time? Stoicism encourages us to approach each social interaction as an opportunity to learn and grow. It is not about achieving perfection, but about making consistent efforts to improve. Embracing failure as a learning experience. In the pursuit of friendships, not every attempt will succeed. Some conversations will fizzle out, and some connections may not deepen. However, Stoicism teaches us to see these experiences as steps forward, not setbacks. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of human interaction that offers valuable lessons. Do you find yourself discouraged when social interactions do not go as planned? Remember that every effort you make, even if it does not lead to a friendship, is a step toward enhancing your social skills. As Epictetus advised, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Each challenge in social life presents an opportunity for growth. Practical Stoic. Steps for improving social skills. Start small and build gradually. Begin with manageable social settings, such as small gatherings or online communities, where you can practice engaging with others. Focus on listening more than speaking. Make an effort to understand others rather than trying to impress them. This shift in focus can foster deeper connections. Reflect on each interaction. After social encounters, take time to consider what went well and what could be improved. This self-reflection helps in gradually enhancing your skills. Improving social skills is not about achieving instant results. It is a continuous process of learning, growth, and self-awareness. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you can navigate the complexities of social life with resilience and grace, cultivating meaningful friendships along the way. The journey through the intricacies of friendship has revealed that having fewer friends does not indicate a lack of social ability or value. It often signifies a person who is thoughtful, intentional, and aligned with the principles of Stoicism. Whether it is through prioritizing quality over quantity, embracing life's transitions, or continuously improving oneself, the Stoic approach encourages us to focus on what truly matters. As you reflect on your own social life, consider how the principles of Stoicism can guide you toward cultivating deeper, more fulfilling connections. Let us know in the comments if you are an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert, and share your thoughts on navigating friendships. If you found value in this discussion, please like the video to support the channel, subscribe for more content on Stoic wisdom, and share this with others who may benefit from a Stoic perspective on friendship. Thank you for watching, and may your path be filled with meaningful connections and the tranquility that Stoicism can bring.